Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing tonight? Episode number 410, Drink Until You podcast, the only podcast that lasts until the last drop. How the hell is your Sunday going? How the hell was your week? Hope everybody's okay. I hope you're safe out there. I'm drinking once again my frozen spiked eggnog. I cannot get enough of this, dude. I think I'm pretty much going to drink this the whole holiday season. It's just that good. It's my version of the double wides frozen eggnog. I'll give theirs the slight edge. Theirs is a little bit better than mine, but mine is still damn good. So that's what I'm drinking. Let's go ahead and have our first drink. If you got them, drink them. Bottoms up. Cheers, everybody. All right, sitting here watching a little bit of this Carolina Hurricanes, Calgary Flames game, second period, 0-0. Jesus, Calgary only has 3 shots, like 3 minutes into the second period. That's the only shots they have all game. That's terrible. It is a 0-0 game. My Dallas Stars coming on here in a little bit. We're playing the Senators, the Ottawa Senators. Hopefully we'll get the victory. It's weird how this works. It always seems like those Eastern Conference teams, the Senators, the Flyers, those guys, they always have the bigger, bulkier guys on there. And it always seems, just if memory serves correctly, that the Dallas Stars always have trouble with those kind of teams. But I'm kind of feeling good, man. We've been on a streak. Our team's looking damn good. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. First off, I want to give you guys three things I've been watching to recommend to you. Hopefully you've either seen them or you'll watch them and enjoy them as I did. The first one is Chad Powers. I meant to talk about this like 2 weeks ago. I just totally forgot. I actually titled one of my episodes Chad Powers, and I never talked about it. And like going back and listening to it, I was like, shit, I didn't even mention that. I totally forgot. So I had to go back and change the title on that. But this one, I will talk about Chad Powers. I liked it. I finished the first season. I think that's all there is right now is one season. But basically, he's a disgraced, like, ex-college football player. He lost the national championship for his team in the dumbest of ways, and it's like he was so mad that he lost it. He kind of disgraced himself on the sideline after the game. You'll just have to watch to see what he did. It was pretty shocking. But anyway, so yeah, he's like a disgraced ex-college football player. He loves football, would love to get back in. And it just so happens that his dad that he lives with is like a makeup artist, like a legit makeup artist for like Hollywood movies, He can do all kinds of like monster masks or, make you look different. Probably put a fat suit on you, in the Nutty Professor. But anyways, so his dad's this super good makeup artist, and that kind of gives this guy the idea that he's going to use one of his disguises. He's supposed to deliver the disguise or the makeup, the nose and the mustache and blah, 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 to Michael Bay. And he basically takes those items and uses them for himself to become Chad Powers. And, and he does a walk-on at a college, makes the team. Obviously, he's got more experience than he's letting on. They think he has barely any, He just has, pee-wee and high school experience. But he looks good. It's like he knows what he's doing. It's just it was really funny, man. It's basically like, I wonder if they thought about this whenever they wrote the show. It's basically Uncle Rico who thinks he can throw a football over them mountains. You know what I mean? Like, I could totally see someone watching Napoleon Dynamite and getting the idea for this movie. For this TV show. It was pretty good, man. And Eli Manning is apparently, I guess, some sort of producer in this show. So yeah, I liked it. It was good. I watched the first season. Like I said, hopefully there will be a second season. I'd like to see what happens next. 'Cause, it's all kinds of drama. You know what I mean? Like, you can kind of, from what I set up just now, you can tell what's going to happen eventually. Like, he can't he can't keep that secret forever, obviously. So it's a good show. I highly recommend that one. One that was recommended to me also, The Tulsa King. I just started watching that today. It's got Sylvester Stallone in there. And he did 25 years in prison. He's like a mobster. Did 25 years in prison, didn't turn on whoever he was keeping secrets for. Served his time, he gets out, and that's basically where the show starts. And he goes to like the big mob boss, and they basically want to send him to Tulsa, and he's like, "What the fuck, Tulsa? I don't want to go to Tulsa. What's in Tulsa?" And they're basically like kind of shooing him away in a sense. And obviously he's pissed because he's like, "Dude, I lost my wife over this. My daughter, I haven't seen her in 18 years because I've been in prison, and she hates me now. It's like I've lost everything, and you're gonna banish me to Tulsa." So he gets mad. One of the younger guys who was, like they said in the show, basically in diapers whenever he went to prison, is kind of like mouthing off to Sylvester Stallone's character. And Sylvester Stallone punches him and knocks him out cold. And I'm just like, yeah, Rocky's still got it, man. He's still got that right hook. I'm pretty sure he hit him with the right hook. Some things never change, right? You got to watch out for those actors. I think about this all the time, man. Like Keanu Reeves. It's like people make fun of him, and I know Kung Fu and all this and that. But that dude, I mean, in order to make it look good in the movie, you have to learn the moves. You know what I mean? Like, he's not faking the moves. He actually knows probably now by this point how to punch, how to kick, how to, maneuver out of the way. It's like those are like crucial things these actors get to learn whenever they do a part like that, like how to fight, and now it's obviously different. Like, what's that dude? Michael J. White? He was already a martial artist, and then he kind of got into movies, which you can totally tell that, I mean, you can tell he's not a classically trained actor, but his fight scenes, oh boy, he knows how to throw a kick. He knows how to throw a punch. But yeah, that's kind of the reverse. But yeah, I mean, look at someone like Tom Cruise. There's no way he doesn't know how to fight. You know what I mean? Like, he's done too much of that shit in his life to just not know. I mean, to make it look good, you have to be able to punch, right? And kick, and I don't know. But anyways, yeah, Sylvester Stallone's character knocks the dude out. He goes to Tulsa. He basically I don't know if this is the right word. I'm not a mobster, but he basically goes to this dispensary in Oklahoma and shakes them down. Basically makes a deal with them that they didn't really even want to make in the first place, but they don't have a choice because, he is who he is. You can tell he means business. You know what I mean? Like, from him walking in there from the first moment, it's like this guy's not joking around. He will break your fucking kneecaps if he has to get his way. You know what I mean? Like, he's a tough guy. He's a rough guy. So, anyways, he goes to the dispensary and basically forces them into a deal in his first visit to Tulsa. It's pretty cool, man. It's already got me hooked. I think I'm on episode 2, and I'm probably, aside from the Stars game tonight and whatever's left of this Calgary Hurricanes game, I'm probably going to end up watching Tulsa King. I might get on live stream tonight, by the way, on Twitch, do a little Rocket League, something like that. I don't know. We got a little bit of time here, time to kill. So yeah, I highly recommend those two shows. And then the third show I want to recommend is my friend's podcast. Sid Vicious, James is on the podcast. Travis, Paul, Sean was on there. My friend Alex. They all started this podcast called Cinema So Far, and it's on YouTube. You can go find it on YouTube. The first 2 episodes are out, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I know that they're my friends, and, it's easy for me to say that. But the topic that they covered in the first 2 episodes was a movie called Weapons for episode 1. And then I can't remember the second episode. But basically what I'm trying to say is they're covering so far horror films, in the horror genre, I guess you would call it. And to be honest, that's just not my favorite genre. I'm not into horror at all. I like things like, back in the day, I liked Scream. I was kind of a teenager when that came out, and it was cool. I guess you could classify that as horror. When I was real young, I mean, I've talked about this. I watched Chucky when I was, and this is probably why I'm not into horror. Those movies as a kid scared me enough, like for a lifetime. Still to this day, when I get in my car, I check my back seat. Like, I look back there. I'm not even looking for Chucky, but there's something that just tells me you need to look in your back seat to be sure there's there's not a doll waiting back there to strangle you. Chucky was mean with it too. He would pop out and be like, "Die, motherfucker!" It's like, Jesus Christ. Jason, Friday the 13th, of course, with Freddy Krueger. That shit got to me. But I'm basically, like, as I've grown, I'm not into it, man. Like, and I'll kind of give a little reasoning, but it just seems like in the horror genre, and I think you might think this is true too, they're just always trying to come up with the latest, greatest scare. And just going off of that idea, it makes it, like, not scary. You know what I mean? Like, when I know you're trying to scare me, it's probably not going to work. And I will ruin a horror movie, dude. Like, in the theater, at home by myself, with friends, I'll start laughing before the jump scene just because I know it's coming. You know what I mean? Like, just to ruin it. Just because I don't want to get got with the jump scene. So anyways, with all that said, my lack of love for the horror genre, this podcast is actually perfect because I'm basically getting the cliff notes. There's definitely spoilers in the show, so know that before you go in. If you haven't seen Weapons, then don't go watch it because they're going to tell some parts of it. But I love it this way. I get to still know what the movie is and basically get the cliff notes of it without having to sit through it and potentially have it ruined. You know what I mean? And there's so many different ways they can ruin a horror movie. Like, I wouldn't consider the movie Signs a horror movie at all. It was just kind of suspenseful, but the thing that ruined it, just for me personally, I don't know, other people feel differently. The thing that ruined it for me was when they actually, like, showed the alien's face, even for, like, a split second. It's like, if you don't do that, like, I get the feet thing, they're, like, looking under the door and the alien walks by and they see the foot step down and it kind of like a jump scare or whatever. Other than that, they shouldn't have showed the face. That ruins it for me. I think whatever's in my mind is way more scary than any makeup they could put, on a person to make them look like an alien. So that's kind of my beef with just the whole horror genre in general, is they're always trying to top. They always think they have the formula to be the next, like, biggest, scariest movie, and it's usually a breakdown in, like, the story itself. You know what I mean? Like, just watching that first episode of the Cinema So Far podcast and listening to my friends talk about it, that's absolutely what happened in Weapons. There were two out of I think they had 6 people on there. There were 2 out of the 6 people on there that said they ruined the movie in the second half of the movie. They had a great thing going, and then they just ruined it with too much of something. And it's just like that, just that little snippet of what they said about it is like, that's why I don't like horror. They could build it up as much as they want for an hour and 45 minutes and just absolutely demolish it in the last 15, trying to make it different. We're trying to give it that Sixth Sense spin to where nobody saw it coming. You know what I mean? So with that said, go watch their podcast because I think you'll enjoy it too. I'm not even a horror fan, and I fucking loved it. I've watched each episode twice now. Not just bullshitting. I'm not just blowing smoke because they're my friends. Like, I actually enjoyed it. And I get a little bit of that horror, a little bit of that fix that I don't really have. You know what I mean? Like, it does it for me. It's exactly what I want. I want the cliff notes. I want to know what the monster looks like. I want to know why they were, what's the secret behind why they became evil. I want to know all that shit. And that's basically what what their podcast is. So yeah, go check them out on YouTube. Cinema So Far. Go give them some likes, some subscribes. If you feel like it afterwards, come hit up your boy at Drink Until You Podcast on YouTube. I'm on the lighter side of things. You'll see me playing video games and, nothing horror on my end. So, but yeah, I do eventually plan on being on that podcast. I want to talk about, I don't know, the movies that are coming to mind are The Big Lebowski or like Training Day or like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood or, pretty much any Quentin Tarantino movie. What did I watch? Jackie Brown. I watched that like a month ago for probably the millionth time. But yeah, those are the kind of movies I'm going to be into. It's not all horror, so let me not misrepresent them. It's going to be pretty much just every kind of movie. They just started with a couple of horror movies that they were really into. So yeah, go check them out. Cheers, everybody. Let's have another drink. All right, and I saw this on Twitter, if I can find my phone here. And I'm kind of torn, man. I don't know. I retweeted it, and basically the @ is AKA Face US. And he's basically saying, I learned this a long time ago, but this is important for any beer drinkers to know. This is how you pour beers properly. So he gets the first one, and he does the whole like glass tilt thing. You tilt the glass, you pour the beer down the side of the glass so it has that head on it whenever, you're done pouring. It's got that nice little foam layer on the top. It looks like ice cream. You know what I mean? It's adult ice cream. And then he takes another one, and without tilting the cup, he pours it just straight into the cup. And so it's like bubbling up. It's like foaming up. And supposedly the second way he does it is how you're supposed to drink beer. And I definitely read through the comments and stuff. Some people are like, you don't pour it that way because it comes out flat. You pour it the other way, and you'll get, you get nice, crispy, bubbly beer. This guy's theory is that when you have the nice, crispy, bubbly foam on it beer, that's basically like it's doing that in your stomach. You know what I mean? Like he takes something and he stirs one beer, and it's just the foamy beer is just foaming up even more. It's just getting more foamy. It's like spilling over the top of the glass. It's just like too much carbonation, and it's like it can't handle it. He's like, this is what's happening in your stomach whenever you drink beer that's poured like this. And then he stirs the other one to where he just poured straight into the glass, and it actually foamed up while he was pouring it, and seems like you would be wasting the carbonation. But the thing he's saying, the theory he has is that basically you're saving room in your stomach if you pour it way number 2. If you just pour it straight into the glass without the tilt, that's the way you're supposed to be drinking it, because you're saving more space in your stomach without, feeling full. All those bubbles make you feel full, but if it's, I guess, quote, for lack of a better word, more flat, you have more space to drink more beer. Therefore, you get more drunk. And I started thinking about it. I was like, this actually kind of it makes sense with my theory that I've talked about before, that I will pour 4 beers at home and I'll get a little buzz going. But when I go to like a stadium, when I go to the AAC to watch the Stars, or I go to, whatever sporting event or like a music venue, and they pour it for me, it's like it only takes like 2 beers to get drunk, it feels like. And I don't know if that has anything to do with it, like the foaminess of the beer. But now that I'm thinking about it, it's like every time I get a beer from the AAC or like a music venue or whatever, it doesn't taste flat, but it tastes more flat than as if you just poured it from the can. You know what I mean? So it's like less bubbly, but it's still good. It's still ice cold. It's still beer. And I'm kind of wondering if this guy has a good, I haven't tried it myself. I'm going to take a couple of beers. I have some Modelo's in the fridge right now, but I'm going to take a couple of beers and see, and I'll report back to see. I guess I'd have to do it on two separate nights. So one night I'll pour in a tilted glass. I'll drink 4 beers that way, and then the next night I'll pour just straight into the glass without tilting to get the bubbles out of there, and we'll see the difference. I'll write down and document the difference. I kind of think it's BS a little bit, and I kind of side with the people in the comments saying that that's just going to make the beer flat, and who wants to drink flat beer? I totally agree with that. I don't want to drink flat beer or hot beer, or room temperature beer. I want it to be cold, bubbly, crispy. That's the way to drink beer. But I don't know. There might be something to it. I've always thought that, like going to a sporting event, I always seem to get more drunk than when just doing it at home. And it's like, what's the difference? It's not like I'm here in Dallas. It's not like I'm elevated in Colorado or something where the air is thinner. So that might, I don't know. So yeah, just a theory. I reposted it. I didn't know what you guys thought. I wanted to see what you think. But anyways, let's go ahead and have another drink of this non-carbonated frozen spiked eggnog. Cheers. Oh my God, it's so good. It's so good. What is it about the eggnog that like really masks the rum? I can taste the rum, but it's not like as if I were shooting it. You know what I mean? Like it's just adding to the flavor. I don't know, dude. This is awesome. I love this. Anyways, moving on. As I mentioned, we got some Dallas Stars going on here in a little bit. My boys have just been on a damn tear, bro. After Rantanen's suspension, like I said, I was kind of worried about him. Like, dude, he kind of looks like he's being a little aggro. And that's kind of weird to say because it is hockey. You got to be aggressive. But it looked like he was being a little over the top aggressive. But he actually came out the game after he came back. Oh, my God. Calgary just rung one off the post. Dude, I have the TV on mute and I could hear that one. That was insane. The way that thing shot off the post. Anyways, but yeah, Rantanen came out before their next game they played when he was back from suspension, and he even said, he's like, I need to be more careful. So that was so good for me to hear him say, just because I was a little worried about him. He looked kind of frustrated, you know what I mean? And the hit he did, I don't think it was the best decision. Obviously they suspended him for a game. But yeah, him coming out and saying he needs to be more careful is like totally, yes, that's what I wanted to hear. So, like I said, the Stars have been on a tear. Robertson's goal streak ends at 7 games. I think he didn't score against the Kraken, possibly. I think that was the team. And then the next game he scores again. So he's like back on again. We just have so many things clicking right now. It's really cool to see. Our freaking 99 jerseys. These are the throwbacks to the 99's Stanley Cup champion team, except our color scheme has changed a little bit. Now, just being an original like Dallas Stars fan, I will always love the gold, the gold accent on the uniform. But personally, I'm not a gold person. You know what I mean? Like I like silver better than I like gold. I know gold is more valuable, blah, blah. I just like the way silver looks better than gold. I think gold looks great on some people, usually darker skin. Gold looks awesome. I do have a little bit darker skin, but I've never been a gold person. But for that Dallas Stars, those original uniforms, the gold is perfect. I absolutely, you can't beat those jerseys. But the 99 that they just came out with are the throwbacks. And they basically just changed the gold for silver, and I fucking love it, dude. I love those jerseys, and I love that Ottinger, he did his mask basically like in his version, but it was like Eddie Belfour's mask, which, I mean, if you're trying to, speak to someone with a soft spot for the Dallas Stars. You're talking to him. You know what I mean? And Eddie the Eagle and that whole team, dude. Like, just for Ottinger to do that is like fucking respect, dude. Like, I hope Ottinger is a fan, of Belfour. I can imagine that he probably is. But just from a fan's perspective, to see him do that was like, dude, it made me so like prideful, and happy. Like, it was just such a cool, tip of the hat to Eddie the Eagle. So they come out with their 99 throwback unis, and they're fucking beautiful, dude. The only one that could ever rival them would be the golden Dallas Stars, with the golden accents, those jerseys, or the Vancouver Canucks like 80s jerseys, the black with the red and the yellow and the orange, and they got like the skate on the front, dude. Those jerseys are just fucking phenomenal. So I already have a Johnston jersey. And that's in the style of the new jersey, the new concept they came out with the Dallas Star in the middle, and it's that victory green. So now I want to get a throwback, but I don't know who to get. I thought about doing it in Yuri Lettinen, putting Lettinen's name on the back. That would be dope as hell. I want Rantanen, obviously, but I looked online. They already sold out. I'm like, fuck, dude. I thought about doing Foxa too. Just for the fact that I get it. Like, Foxa's not the face of the franchise. He's not the all-star player, blah, blah, blah. But you guys know me by now to know that I love the hardworking, the grunt. You know what I mean? And Foxa was that way when he was here before. He was that way when he left for a couple of years, and he's that way still when he came back. But I couldn't actually find I'd probably have to do some kind of custom jersey or something like that, which isn't a problem. I just, I really want Rantanen. So Foxa might lose out on that one. Or Lettinen. It's between, honestly, the two. And the Lettinen thing doesn't make sense. Obviously, he's not a part of this team. He was with the gold trim on the jerseys. But, I mean, he's still a fucking Dallas Star. He's still a Stanley Cup champion, 3-time Selke-winning Dallas Star. But yeah, I mean, that Rantanen one just looks so sick. I think I'm just going to have to do it. And he's just such a ridiculous player, man. He is an absolutely ridiculous player. I remember the first day I heard that he was coming to the Dallas Stars, I was just giddy. I couldn't believe it. And then I'm reading through the comments, and you have kind of some of these bitter Avs fans and saying how much of a mistake it was to get him, and he's not what you think he is, and blah, blah, blah. Just talking bad about him. I'm like, dude, everything I know about Rantanen, he's a good fucking player. So now looking at it, fast forward to now, today, he's an elite player, bro. There's no way around it. He's an elite player. So, I'm probably going to get that Rantanen one, even though Lettinen would be so cool, but I might need to save that. I might need to go, the gold trim and get a Lettinen jersey and that. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm torn too. I've got a couple of others, man. I want a Hextall, Philadelphia Flyers jersey. I want a Bure Canucks jersey, the one I was just describing. Dude, that Stankoven's head almost went through the fucking boards right there. That was insane. And he just popped up. He's such a tough dude. He got tripped up there at the end. His head almost rammed through the damn board. Jesus. But anyway, so yeah, I got some options, but yeah, go check out those Stars jerseys, dude. Those are so fucking cool, man. But anyways, I think that's pretty much it. I got the Stars game on here. What else? I thought there was something else that happened. No, I mean, looking through my feed, it's all either Rantanen or Robertson or Johnston. Johnston scored on the power play the other night. That was beautiful. From a beautiful pass from Rantanen, of course. But yeah, let's go Stars. Let's go Oklahoma City Thunder. Hopefully I can catch another game before the season's over. Hopefully I can get up to Oklahoma. I would love to see a game live, dude, and come home with one of those. Oh, yeah, that's on the jersey list, too. I want one of those OKC jerseys they just came out with. Those look cool as hell. I want an original one, and I want the one they just came out with, which is more like they do black and red and like a turquoise, I guess kind of a Native American style coloring on the jersey, which I find dope as hell. Yeah, so many jerseys, dude. This is exactly why I started buying hats. It was because jerseys are so fucking expensive. It's like, you want to take out a loan and get a couple of jerseys, or do you just want to use your paycheck and grab a couple of hats? You know, I know what choice I've made over the years. I have tons of hats. But anyways, that's going to do it for me for this episode. As always, don't drink and drive. Treat yourself to an Uber. Treat yourself to a Lyft. I hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. The big one's up next. Yeah, I'm not prepared. In years past, I've been way more prepared by this point, but it's looking like it's going to be a last minute shopping kind of year, which sucks because that's so stressful. But I did see on Black Friday, I don't know if you guys saw the same thing, but the stores were not packed at all. Which makes me happy. I'm actually glad people are like waking up and not being taken advantage of anymore, and not like knocking $1 off and calling it a Black Friday deal is bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, they've been doing that for years, bro, and you've been fighting people in the store over this shit. You know what I mean? It's fucking stupid. I don't know. Maybe it was the timing of everything. There wasn't like a PS5 that came out, or an Xbox, or a whatever Nintendo gaming system is out now. I don't know. Maybe it's just the timing was off. But I mean, I think it's just because people are like, they're fucking had enough. We're not buying bullshit anymore. I love that meme that says, "Hey, Black Friday, we've got all the flat screens we need. Put some of those groceries on sale." And that's absolutely true. I would buy 6 barrels of eggnog if I could. You know what I mean? If they were on sale, I'd do that. I'd buy eggnog in bulk and my rum. Why not? But yeah, as always, don't drink and drive. Treat yourself to an Uber. Treat yourself to a Lyft. Treat yourself to a Waymo. By the way, my Dallas peeps, Waymo's coming 2026. It's an all-automated, basically taxi service, which is really cool. You can fucking bar hop in that bitch, and you don't have to have awkward conversations with someone you don't know. It's perfect. But anyways, let's go ahead and have our last drink of the episode. If you got them, drink them. Bottoms up. Cheers, everybody. All right. Thank you guys for listening. I will talk to you next week. Love you all. Bye.